Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today, as you can tell by the title, we're talking about someone who is for pro-shipping. If you don't know what pro-shipping is, then it's basically people who think it's okay to ship fictional characters who are minors with adults. Yeah, that's insane. Anyways, I stole this video idea from Dark Docs, so if you want to go subscribe to him, his channel will be linked in the description. The person's name is Mushroom Girl, and they have 4.5 thousand subscribers. That's astonishing. They made a video a year ago talking about, let's talk about pro-shipping. And they basically call pro-shipping bad, they explain why it's bad, etc, etc. But then a month ago, this is where the tables turn. Why pro-shippers are good, actually. What the fuck happened in a year span?
Without further ado, enjoy the video.
I am not enjoying this already.
This video is a remake of my pro-shipping video because that original video was not great. I don't stand by that video and the unintentional misinformation I spread in that video anymore.
Oh, you mean good valid points on why pro-shipping is bad?
I'm just gonna give a warning that if you're an anti-shipper who's letting out a sigh of relief right now at the fact that I have now disowned my last pro-shipping video.
Dude, no one is relieved that you have a shitty take now.
Because you thought I was defending or sugarcoating pro-shipping. Don't celebrate so early, my friends.
I'm sorry, but we are not friends, okay? We're not.
Discussing what pro-shipping actually is, debunking the counter-arguments that go against my thesis.
I'm really gonna debunk your counter-arguments. It's gonna prove my thesis. Because you're not a fucking scientist. Shut the fuck up.
First off, what exactly is pro-shipping? There's a lot of confusion surrounding this term, as it has a bunch of different definitions and interpretations of those definitions. But today, I will be going over the definition that is not only the most relevant to this topic, but that is most widely accepted by the pro-ship community. A pro-shipper is a person who believes that all fictional ship pairings are valid regardless if they portray themes that are seen as taboo by the general public, and by fandom spaces such as abuse, rape, pedophilia, or incest.
Right, because there's nothing wrong with those. Any normal person would agree with that, right? No. Shut the fuck up.
Pro-shippers do not necessarily need to enjoy this taboo content themselves. Some may even find it triggering or disgusting.
Then why support non-canon ships that you find disgusting?
But despite that, they believe that this content has the right to exist, and people who create that content should not be harassed or even face legal repercussions for what they create.
Anyone who thinks this is an absolute idiot. So you think it's okay to support drawings of CP, and also think that people shouldn't be harassed for this? They should 100% be harassed for this.
Or for what they consume. It also applies to just consuming certain media, not exactly creating it yourself. Pro-fiction, often shortened to pro-fic, is a term that is similar to pro-shipping. That means essentially the same thing, except it's more general and less tied specifically to shipping or to fandom spaces. It usually refers to all fictional work covering taboo themes in general, not just shipping, though to my knowledge the terms can be used interchangeably and both refer to the same general beliefs and mindset.
Okay, so you're saying pro-fics are worst?
Anti-shipper, often shortened to anti, is a term that refers to somebody who is heavily against pro-ship beliefs.
So you're talking about normal people.
They often believe that the portrayal of taboo themes in fictional pairings reflect the actual real-life views of the people creating these works.
There's a difference from creating CP and creating a book about some child with an adult. Drawing CP, no matter what it is, even whatever your stance is on CP, is wrong. It is wrong no matter what. Even if you don't think it's okay, why are you drawing it then?
So, what do I think about pro-shippers? Well, I refer to myself as pro-fix.
Jump.
So, that should tell you everything that you need to know.
It sure does tell me everything I need to know, Mushroom Girl. It sure tells me that you support CP.
I 100% agree with the general mindset that pro-shippers believe in. Fiction is fiction, and as long as it stays completely fictional, there's no harm being done by creating fictional works with taboo themes.
Okay, using your point against you, so drawing CP is okay as long as it's fictional and stays fictional. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I think that the censorship of fictional works is harmful to artists and writers, and is an insanely slippery slope to go down.
As I said, I think writing a book about it is different than completely drawing children like that. Like, if it tells a story, like if the book says a story about some girl who got SA'd, then I think that's fine. And if the book obviously, like, states that it's wrong,
I personally believe that anti-ship beliefs come from a personal disgust of certain content.
whoa, really? People have personal disgust with CP and graping someone? Wow. Very astonishing.
And they think that just because it makes them uncomfortable and reminds them of real-life harmful and taboo subjects, it must be harmful in some way.
I think producing art that could make the influence that it's okay is harmful.
Because of that disgust, they try and find evidence and logic for why these things are actually harmful.
Let's hear your logic on why it's not harmful.
Something I want to tell aunties who are watching this is that just because something makes you feel uncomfortable or triggers you doesn't mean that you should fight to censor it.
Stop trying to justify lolly.
If you dislike something, you should have every right to not engage with that content and block the people creating it.
You're pretty much saying that it's okay to post child porn as long as you can block that person.
But on the other hand, the people creating this content have every right to not only create that media, but post it publicly, given it's allowed on the places they're posting it.
It's okay for people to draw children inappropriately? You think that's okay? Oh, it's okay as long as it's fictional. But what about the pieces where it's not fictional, like Keemstar's daughter?
Feelings are often not entirely logical, which is why people such as pro-shippers put aside their disgust of certain topics to think logically about the topic at hand.
You know, I'm really starting to think that you're not thinking logically.
Anti-shippers have created sort of a straw man of pro-ship beliefs in order to make their arguments sound more understandable.
What's not understandable about drawing children inappropriately is bad? Or what's not understandable about drawing a person getting raped bad? Like, how do you not understand that?
The definition has been heavily rewritten by antis to basically mean people who fetishize pedophilia and incest.
You know, that's pretty logical for people who draw that shit, right? And people who consume it, too? Like, what the fuck?
I think you all can understand why this rewrite would be dangerous to the lives of pro-shippers.
Just don't support people who draw that stuff? Like, what?
I don't think I need to spell it out for you. The definition has slowly turned from freedom of expression to basically a pedophile with extra steps.
Okay, but like in your other video you said it goes from shipping people with other people to it being pedophilic, but now your stance changes? Like, what is your problem? And when the definition of a word changes, a lot of people come out and say that they are identifying as a pro-shipper because they fit with that definition, and that's why people call pro-shippers bad. And if you don't agree with what being a pro-shipper is now, and you were a pro-shipper then just say that you're not a pro-shipper.
Since anti-shippers usually believe that liking a problematic pairing in media, especially for some kind of sexual purpose, means that you would also find it attractive in real life as well.
So you're saying when people find something they like as sexually, they aren't attracted to that? What the fuck are you yapping about? It's a clear contradiction.
They are literally rewriting the definition to make it as easy to call pro-shippers pedophilic, abusive, family-fucking rapists as—
The problem is not the rewritten definition. The problem is the people who come out and say that they are agreeing with this definition and are for it are the people. That's the people that are the problem. That's the problem.
possible. Again, I don't think I need to spell it out for you why that's an issue.
You do realize almost everyone thinks this is morally wrong, right? But when a definition of a different word, let's take an example as in gender, changes, everyone sees it as a positive. It depends on what the definition change was, and if people are still endorsing what it says. And no, I don't disagree with the definition change of gender. I completely agree with it.
If pro-shippers really were so immoral, why would antis feel the need to change the definition based on what they see fit?
The definition changed and people came out as a pro-shipper still. That's the problem. That is the problem. People came out and supporting the drawings of children inappropriately. That's the problem here. Do I need to spell that out for you, or are you good now?
Like, yeah, no shit. If you change the definition of words on a whim, you can basically argue anything to be true.
Jesus Christ, stop yapping about the definition change. It literally means nothing with the context that is given.
If you change the definition of leftism to mean people who like touching children, it's pretty damn easy to argue that leftism is pedophilic, isn't it?
This motherfucker really wants to bring politics into it. Leftism has nothing to do with the drawings of children inappropriately, does it now? And the definition change has to be socially accepted. And it got socially accepted because it was seen as bad that children are being drawn this way.
Almost every definition of proshipping you see when you look up the definition is backing up the definition I showed.
The definition that says it's okay to draw children inappropriately as long as it's fiction. The definition that says it's okay to draw incest as long as it's fiction.
That's textbook dishonesty.
So you're saying, since gender, the definition of gender has been changed, it's textbook dishonesty because socially we have agreed on something?
Many anti-shippers also make such lovely arguments about proshipping and the harm it does, so let's discuss some of those now.
Honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore. Jesus Christ.
If young impressionable children see content that's romanticizing pedophilia, incest, and abuse, they might think those behaviors are okay in real life.
Yeah, that's how influencing stuff works.
I agree with this statement at face value, though there's one simple solution to this. Don't let this content get into the hands of people who are too young.
That's like saying we need to ban minors off of Twitter because there's explicit content on there, which I'm willing to bet that will never happen, and it would be solved if it was just fixed with TOS, Elon.
To properly differentiate fiction from reality.
You act like every degenerate who draws this shit is gonna do that.
Unless that content is being deliberately shown to children or posted on websites made for kids, it's not pro-shippers' fault if children find that content.
Hey, it is, because don't fucking draw that shit in the first place! How hard is that?
These works should have mature content warnings on them.
Yeah, because that totally helps children from not obtaining that shit.
And if they don't, then that's the individual creator's fault.
I think influencing doesn't have to be only for children. It could be for adults too. Influencing that stuff onto an adult to think that it's okay to draw that stuff is just wrong. Which those people can start to want to draw that stuff and then influence more people about it, and it just comes like communism. My bad. The spread of communism, my bad.
Not the fault of the pro-ship community or mindset as a whole.
Yes it is. You guys are endorsing this content.
Also, some of the content often discussed in these discussions is pornographic and probably shouldn't be in the hands of young children anyway.
It shouldn't be in the hands of anyone. No matter what their age is, it shouldn't be in the hands of anyone, because in what right mind is it okay to draw children with adults?
Whether it features incest, abuse, and pedophilia or not.
Glad we can agree that children shouldn't be obtaining sexual things. But you are justifying drawing pedophilia, even if it's sexually drawn.
And yes, a few little kids with unrestricted access to the internet could gain access to this content no matter how well you hide it from them.
Right, so don't make that content, okay? Maybe just don't, okay? How hard is it to just not draw children that way? One child seeing that shit is too many.
But at that point, they're probably seeking it out, and that's not really the pro-shipper's fault.
It's like saying if a child got raped, it's not the graper's fault. It's a children's fault because they were seeking it out. You are so fucking dumb.
And fuck, by this logic, anything not kid-friendly isn't allowed on the internet.
Difference is, one involves children and the other doesn't.
A victim of childhood sexual abuse or sexual assault might see this content and it might trigger them.
I think it would likely trigger anyone who's not into children, you know?
A lot of things might trigger a victim of abuse or assault. It entirely depends on the person and what they as an individual went through.
I'm fucking done here. This person is dumb as shit. Hope you liked this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go subscribe to Dark Docs. One last thing, mushroom fuck, whatever your name is, Horatio.